an invitation to a recession. Harris' economic plan could shut down the entire economy. They say recession, I say depression. Um, we she is effectively pushing socialism and communism, and what scares me is a lot of Americans are for this. They don't know. This is because you don't know history. I blame the education system. This is what happened when you don't know history. But we're gonna talk about it. We're gonna talk about her disastrous policies and why they've been trying to hide it for the American people from the American people for so long, and they don't want to release any more of her policies because of the backlash that's coming out with her economic policies. But we're gonna talk about it. But before we get started, go ahead and hit that like button, share this out so we can get this information out there. Subscribe if you're not already a subscriber, and hit that alarm bell so you know when I'm putting out new stuff. Also, check out my link tree in the description. It has a link to my Patreon. That's where I talk about things that I can't talk about here. I just put a new video out there today, so check that out. Also, follow me on X where I put out news throughout the day and my thoughts and stuff like that. All right, so let's talk about this news. Now, this comes from PJ Media's Rick Moran. He reports that Kamala Harris has a plan. It's supposed to be her economic plan, but no one really believes she's serious about implementing it. I don't know. I think she's serious about implementing it. If Harris believes it, we're in deep trouble. Quote, my guess is that a lot of the things she said in the past about what she really wants to do, like the Green New Deal, for example, getting carbon neutral by 2030, all that kind of stuff would cause a deep recession towards carbon, former White House economist Kevin Hassett told Fox Business, the Big Money Show, on Thursday. He said, carbon neutral by 2030 is almost impossible. 75% of our electricity comes from burning fossil fuels. So how are they going to do that if they try it? So that means they have to get rid of 75% of our electricity. It's impossible. We would be effectively a third world country. He goes on to say that you're just going to have to shut down the economy. It's not just the idiotic price controls that Matt and other PJ Media writers covered yesterday. It's the whole kit and caboodle of wacky, wicked, brain-dead ideas that Democrats have put in the hopper since Obama was president. Quote, when your opponent calls you communist, maybe don't propose price controls, wrote Washington Post opinion columnist Catherine Rampel. And I think I retweeted that today. I believe I did. Harris has set up the biggest dunk tank in campaign history and is inviting Trump to take his best shot. He can't miss. It goes on to say, if you look at all the things that she says that she supports, like a guaranteed job for everybody, how do you do that? How do you guarantee people a job? Unless governments creates those jobs, which means taxes will go towards those jobs, which means she would have to raise taxes on everyone to support this. She opposed to fracking, which would, if she end fracking, it will make our energy costs skyrocket. If you look at the way the campaign pulled that back, they pulled it back quick, right? They try to pretend like she never even said it, like we don't have her own video saying that. They said, well, she's not opposed to all fracking. In other words, yes, she's opposed to fracking, Hassett says. Yeah, they play those word games. Indeed, it wasn't just Washington Post columnists who skewered Harris's proposals. The editorial board came down on Harris hard. And I think I might have did a report on that as well. But, quote, the Times demands serious economic ideas. Harris supplies gimmicks, the editors wrote. Her approach to inflation is class warfare writ large. Never mind that many stores are currently slashing prices in response to renewed consumer bargain hunting. Ms. Harris says she'll target companies that make, quote, excessive profits, whatever that means. That's right, because there's no definition on excessive profits. Someone pointed out, I can't remember who I was listening to, or it was Fox Business or something like that. But they said that how are you gonna, what is excessive profits? You know, most businesses make 8% profit. But when then you look at Silicon Valley, the tech companies, they make like 30%. Some make like 30 percent profit and things like that. So who are you gonna actually so what is considered excessive? It's hard to see how groceries, a notoriously low margin business, would qualify. And I talked about that in previous videos as well. They make about 1 to 2% on their margins. Thankfully, this gambit by Miss Harris has been met with almost instant skepticism, with many critics citing President Richard Nixon's failed price controls from 1970s, and I've talked about that as well. Whether the Harris proposal wins over voters remains to be seen, but if sound economic analysis still matters, it won't. That's the thing, though. I think what was that poll? 70% of Democrats are supporting her, not because of her policies. Like, so that doesn't matter that her policies will destroy America if you got 70% of the Democrat base still supporting her. That's crazy. But quote, she's got a whole bunch of things that she's advocated in the past, which collectively would do exactly what Trump's saying. I guess the question is if she's backing away from that. Hassett says she recruited a bunch of advisors that have been advising previous presidents like Gene Sperling and so on. So maybe she's going to try to run to the middle on policy in the election. But that's just the election. We all know where she really stands, though. Maybe, but running to the middle will not please the Democrat Party activists who supply most of the energy and volunteers to Democratic races. They want a socialist paradise now. Fortunately, most of Harris's economic plan won't go very far in Congress, thank God. And she can make a few big moves with executive orders. It looks like if Harris is elected, Republicans will have control of the Senate, and it's a good bet the GOP will remain control of the House. That's checkmate for Harris and her catastrophic economic plans. But he's a little bit more optimistic. If Harris do win, I don't really trust most of the Republicans to not support her, because most of the Republicans are closet Democrats. They're rhinos. I mean, look at a lot of the stuff that they voted for along against party lines. They voted with the Democrats on a lot of these policies. We had some Republicans vote for the IRA and things like that end up hurting our country and causing more inflation. But y'all let me know what y'all think about this. Leave your comments down below. Like, share, and subscribe, and check out jjthepsychotherapist.com for the latest in news. Until next time, peace.